welcome to Long's Toys. I have a Shuriken Sentai Ninninger review for you today. This is DX Gekiatsu Dai-oh, which is the most recent mecha from Ninninger. All 6 of the Ninninjers combined together to form this mech. It is a pretty large box. As you can see, the chest has a kind of missile firing gimmick, which we'll take a look at. Just taking a look at the side of the box, you can see the 6 mecha, or Zords, or whatever, I guess Maru, Tomonin, I guess is the phrase, that form up Gekiatsu Dai-oh here on the side. Another look at them here on the back. Just shows you how the Shuriken can also work with the Ichibanto, and also that it can combine with Line Hao, which we'll also take a look at. Not much going on the top of the box, but some cool pictures on the top and bottom. So there's a lot to check out with this guy. We'll go ahead and get him out of the box and we'll get into it. Out of the box, this is everything that is included. You have the 6 Otomonin. You have 6 of these little Ninninger missiles. The thing to note though is there is obviously one of each color, so you get a gold, a yellow, a pink, a blue, a white, a red, but they also include 2 extra reds, so you get 8 in total, but red is the only color you get doubles of. So if you lose one of these, you know, you're out of luck, but if you lose a red one, they do include 2 extra red ones. And just to get a quick look, there's not a lot of detail or molding in these, but there is a decent amount for a little missile. You can kind of see the helmet, and you can kind of see like the arms and the chest. So not a ton of molding detail in these missiles, but I think it's cool. I mean, they didn't have to really put any, but they put at least a little bit. So you do get those 6 missiles plus 2 extra reds, which I'll put off to the side. Here is the blade for the Shuriken. Because it's an Otomonin Shuriken, it is kind of a little bit softer plastic. Here is the core of the Shuriken that you get, button on the back as per usual. I think this one's pretty cool. It's just a matte sticker, there's no lights to it, and then the face lifts up for connecting to the Gekiatsu Dai-oh, of course. This thing does make some pretty cool sounds when you first hit it. So it just says Otomonin Shuriken, but then it's going to go through each one. So it says Ho Maru, which is the first one here, the kind of bird Otomonin. Then it kind of makes that weird like cackling sound afterwards. So that's, let me just make sure I'm pronouncing it correctly. Yeah. Seiryu Maru, which is Ao Ninja's Otomonin here. Genbu Maru, which is the big one here. We'll take a look at each of these individually, but that is Ki Ninja's Otomonin. And that is Byaku Maru, which is Shiroi Ninja's Otomonin right here. Panda Maru, which is Momo Ninja's Otomonin. And then Maguille Maru, which is Star Ninja's Otomonin. And then it just goes back to the beginning. So that's all the sounds that the Shuriken makes. When you go ahead and pop this on, just like any other blade for a Shuriken, push it in, twist it, it locks into place, but it does not make any additional sounds when you click it into place. It's pretty standard for a Otomonin Shuriken, so that is how that works. And now we will move in and we'll take a closer look at each of these individually. Alright, so up first we have Aka Ninja's Otomonin Ho Maru. Pretty simplistic. There's really not much as far as articulation goes. The wings can move up and they can also move down. So same on both wings. And then the head can move forward and back a little bit. Getting in a little closer, you can see it does have some nice green painted eyes. Has this red symbol here on the front that's kind of looks like Aka Ninja's helmet. And then what a theme you'll notice throughout rather This kind of like not super translucent, but a little bit translucent orange plastic runs across every one of the Otomanine. I guess it's supposed to simulate fire. It's pretty neat. The effect works well, I think. But overall, there's not much for specific articulation for this guy. But he has a nice red and blue and orange color scheme going on here. Up next we have Seiryu Maru, which is Ao Ninja's Otomanine. Pretty much looks like a dragon motorcycle. I think it's pretty neat. Again, the eyes painted nice green, and then you have this gold here on the side of the face, which I think looks pretty good. Then you have this kind of blue star. Again, you have the kind of fiery, translucent orange plastic for accents. The back wheel does not move, but it has a wheel down here, but then this wheel completely moves. So it rolls pretty nice, I have to say. I haven't really tried I don't really have any figures handy, unfortunately, to see if anyone could actually sit on this. I think it's definitely too small for, like, a normal, like, Power Ranger slash, the Ninninger figures we got that were basically the same molds from the Power Ranger figures. I think it's too small for one of them. But, like, it's actually probably a little too big for, like, a 66 action. I don't know, maybe I wish I had one handy. I don't really, though. But I was going to say, you might be able to get like a Action Hero size Power Ranger figure on here. Not really sure. But in any case, I do think this one looks pretty good. I like the dragon design, and I really like the gold and the gold paint here on the front. So, pretty cool on this one. Here we have Genbu Maru, which is Ki Ninja's Otomanine. He's pretty much a turtle tank. He's the largest by far. It's pretty obvious that he's going to make up kind of the core of the robot. But it's pretty neat. I mean, it doesn't feel like it should work, but it kind of does. It's just got a little turtle face here, again with some nice green eyes. And then he's just got big tank treads, and this kind of looks like a shell. And he just rolls around. I mean, I guess if you really wanted, you could do a different pose with the legs or something. It's completely up to you. But the box and the official directions have him up like this just to keep him compact. So he really doesn't have any articulation as far as being an Otomanine on its own, with the exception of the legs, but they recommend just keeping him up like this. But I don't know, the face is cool. I like the tank treads. I think that's a cool touch. Yeah, he's just a neat little Otomanine. Up next is Byaku Maru, which is Shuro Ninja's Otomanine. Pretty basic. It's going to be one of the legs, you can kind of see, but again, he's got kind of the translucent orangey plastic here. This is going to become like a knee guard, and then a little bit here on the back. These wheels all spin, all four. Then you have, again, nice green painted eyes. All of these have the nice kind of metallic-y green paint for the eyes, which I really like. And then a little bit of its, front paws sticking out here. This piece does not move at all, just so you know. To form the leg, it's very simple. You just pop it forward. Very simple there. If you want to change it back, you have to press this button, and then it can go back down. So pretty basic Otomanine, but not bad. And then here's Panda Maru, which is Momo Ninja's Otomanine. He's probably got the least amount of the translucent orange plastic, just the little shin guard here on the back. This does spin, unlike the one we previously looked at. This big thing does spin. I don't really know what that I mean, it's nice, but I don't really know what it adds to it. I guess they just decided this one's very basic. It has the least amount of paint, the least amount of orange translucent plastic. And unfortunately, because of that, I kind of think it's one of the weaker ones for sure. The panda face is cute, definitely. I don't really know why they didn't give it eyes like pupils. I guess just I don't know, maybe more nondescript, or I guess just because it's a robot, maybe. I'm not really sure. But this one's mostly blue. I mean, it has very little, just the orange here on the side. Again, to transform it into a leg, just flip it forward. You want to change it back, press the button. So this is definitely one of the more simplistic ones. Has these two little plastic wheel cylinders on the bottom. So yeah, while I do like pandas, I think this one's kind of one of the weaker ones. Alright, so last up we have Maguille Maru, which is Star Ninja's Otomanine. he's a little fish, which is kind of funny. Bolt Matrix in his review said it kind of reminded him of the Pokemon Magikarp, and I could definitely see that. I think that's a hilarious comparison, actually. He's got a little bit of the translucent orange plastic here in the tail and the top. It's kind of a shame that it's solid on this side, but it's kind of hollow on this side. But that's because when he's connected as an arm, you're going to only see this side. So I'm assuming that's why they did that. But, I mean, he's got nice green paint here for the eyes. I like the gold on here for his kind of fishy mustache, which is kind of funny. Two very basic wheels here on the bottom. So I don't think he's the worst out of everyone. I think, unfortunately, Panda Maru kind of takes that title. But he's down there as far as maybe second worst. But... you know, I like that he's a fish. That kind of makes me laugh, so he's not terrible. So combining these 6 together is actually pretty simple. You're going to start with these 2 that become the legs. And you're just going to go ahead, flip that up, take Genbu Maru, straighten out the legs, and then just go ahead and drop that right on. So I will come out a little bit and pan up. The other thing you're going to want to do is take the head and just rock that back, just like that. You're going to take the 2 arms and very simply just peg them on each side. Very easy. You're going to bring the shuriken, flip the head out just like that, and then drop that down on top. Okay, so he's not 100% done, but that's going to go off as soon as you connect the shuriken. Then you're going to take Ho Maru, come around to the back, flip out this little peg right there. This is going to, it's not going to hardcore snap in, but you can see there's kind of a little well here for the peg to go into. So it's just going to kind of sit like this. And then what you're going to do is bring these in around, and they will kind of clip into the sides of the shuriken up here. And then you're just going to tilt that forward. So if I bring him back a little bit, now you have all 6 attached, and you can hit the button again if you like. At first I didn't really like the look of this guy, but he's definitely grown on me. I think it helps that he has kind of a unified color scheme of the dark kind of navy blue with the orange fiery kind of theme going on here. I think it's neat. I mean, you can see he's got some fire, you know, kind of flames here. There's all this kind of like lighter translucent fiery plastic. I don't know. It's definitely one of the crazier ones we've gotten in a while. But it also kind of reminds me of the Clawzord from Power Rangers Samurai. I know that had a Japanese name, but I've never seen Shinkenger, so I'm not sure what it is. But it definitely reminds me of that, and I think it's because of the color scheme. Now, the other thing you can go ahead and do at this point, you have your missiles that we got, and you just go ahead and you can just load them in any order. It really doesn't matter, and it's not like you have to line them up in any certain way. You just pop them in very simply. There's nothing to it, so you just go ahead and pop those in real easily, and then you can come around to the back, and you'll see this big red knob right here. So if we bring him, you just turn the knob, and I'll hold his feet for stability here. And they fly out pretty far. They do a decent job of firing. So I think that's pretty cool. And then you can just go ahead and pop them right back in. And so on and so forth, you get the drill. But I think it's a neat little feature. I mean, it's not overly intricate, but I mean, the missiles fire well, they load in real easily. It's pretty fun. So this guy does have compatibility with Line Hao, and I've gone ahead and got Line Hao already. I've already attached Bison King here to the back, so you can see he's hanging off the back here, and I have the 2 legs in his hands for guns. So you're just going to pop them in very similar to the way you pop in Shuriken. Although the first thing you're going to have to do though is take this piece off and just kind of put that off to the side for a moment. Pop the Shuriken off, put that off to the side. Then you're just going to pop the head back up. And the reason that second face is in there is because the Shuriken in this mode is not going to pop on to become the face, so they kind of need that second face. You're going to pop the legs up so you can sit. Then this peg in the back that we popped out before is what's going to peg right in here. So pop him in, bring these up to fit in the hands. There you go. Then we can center this a little better. You're going to go ahead and pop the line Dai-oh Shuriken on top like you normally would. So that's going to play, even though this is obviously not Shuriken. There's not really anything you can do about that. What you're going to do is you're then going to take Maguille Maru and just pop him on top of that Shuriken. Then you can take Gekiatsu Ninninger and plug him into the little peg that's on the back of Ninninger. And I know he's not, or Maguille Maru, rather. So you got the Gekiatsu Ninninger. On top, there's a very tiny little peg on the back of Maguille Maru. So he's up there, and then I'm going to pan back down. Now, there is something I forgot to do. I'll have to pop this back out. Before you plug this guy in, you want to make sure that the cross on his chest is, you know, not diagonal like it is now. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to fire one of these. And then you can pop it back in. So you want it to be at a 90-degree angle, not diagonal, just like that. So then you can pop this guy back in, put the hands, or the holders back in the hands. Then you're going to take this Shuriken, put the face up so that it's hidden, and then you're going to pop this onto the front, and that's what's going to play the sound for you. What is it doing? Do I have it on wrong? I might. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think I do. Hold on a second. Oh, I see. It's not enough that it's vertical. You can see here, if you look real close, that the symbol is upside down. So as it flings these little missiles all the way across my room here, I have to turn it completely around. So now the symbol is facing the correct way. Third time's a charm. And now we connect it. So the fanfare music is pretty impressive there. He says, you know, Gekiatsu, or Hao Gekiatsu Dai-oh, and he sounds kind of strained when he's screaming it. It's kind of hilarious. But I think it's pretty neat. Now the only problem is you can't really press the button again to get the sound because it's not on top. It's the button is behind. And it's actually, it's not the button that you normally press. It's kind of a, and I can show you. You can see here, there's a little notch on the side, and when that's depressed, I think that's what plays the sound. It's not just the button here in the middle. So if you want to hear the sound again, you have to take it completely off and put it back on. So I like the music. I think it's pretty impressive. And this thing is just as massive as a Hao Shuriken, so I like it. It's fun. Real quick, we'll take a look at the Shuriken as it worked with the Ichibanto. Now, I've already showed you basically that you just press the button on the back to cycle through all the different otomonin. So if you just pop this on and press the third button, so you can just pretend that, like, depending on which, one of the ninjas you want to pretend to be at that moment, you just make sure you have the right sound queued up, hit the button. And it'll just continue to cycle through. That's the second time it's done that to me, where I've hit the button and then it just kind of dies. I think it's because I'm hitting it too fast. So yeah, if you hit it again, it's just going to cycle through. So really just you have to line it up, and then, the sounds will sync. But yeah, you can pretend like you're summoning the different otomonin. So I have to say, Gekiatsu Dai-oh definitely grew on me. When I first saw pictures of him from like the magazine scans, I didn't really know what to think. It was just really jarring compared to all the other mecha we've seen in this line so far. I mean, you have Shuriken, who is kind of such a mashup because with the 40th anniversary, they kind of wanted to pull stuff from all the different years. So he's kind of a weird mashup. And then you have like Lion Hao and Bison King, which are just kind of their own separate things. And then this guy is the first kind of combination that has kind of a unifying theme and color scheme and everything. And I think that really helps it. He's definitely grown on me. I definitely like the design a lot more than I used to. The chest firing gimmick, not necessary, but it's kind of fun and there's nothing wrong with it. I do appreciate that they did give you 6 different colored little missiles to represent the 6 different ninjas. That's really nice. Another thing I didn't mention, but the arms can switch. So if you have, Shuriken, you can swap out the arms. The legs cannot because they connect differently than Shuriken's legs do. But you definitely can switch out the arms if you'd like. So if you'd like to put Shinobi Maru and Dragon Maru as arms on this guy, you certainly could. So there's a little bit more playability with that. He has the functionality with Lion Hao, I think, is really fun. I think he looks just as good in there as Shuriken does riding in Lion Hao. And the sounds and everything that they all make are definitely a lot of fun. So I recommend this guy. If you're on the fence about him, then I say wait for a sale, because I definitely think he's worth it. I got them on HobbyLink Japan, and they always sell stuff for a little bit cheaper than full retail price. So to me, it was worth it, and I definitely enjoy it, and I'm having fun with it. I think Panda Maru is probably the weakest of the individual otomonin, but combined all together, he's fine. He shines just as well as anybody else. Just on their own, he's probably the weakest. But as a combined mecha, I definitely think this guy's a lot of fun, and I think the Shuriken sounds are pretty great. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you, get your opinions on this. Please like and share this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this look at DX Gekiatsu Dai-oh from Shuriken Sentai Ninninger, and thanks for watching.